Welcome back to the channel. It's the 6th of March 2017. We're looking at a race at Wolverhampton, the 410, a 7 furlong handicap, and quite an interesting race, all looking at the form. First of all, let's deal with the favourite, Simply Me, in blistering form at the moment. Won its last 3 races. Last time out, won very easily on the bridle, and this is not much of a step up in class. Its weight's gone up a little bit, but I still think it's got a rock solid chance of winning. But it is odds on, so we're not going to obviously play again with that. We're going to have a look at some of the outsiders, which we normally do. Now the first one we're looking at is Beau Mistral. Now that's been in pretty decent form, but that was been over 6 furlongs, and the horse has never really run at 7 furlongs and beyond with any real credit. Only had 2 races at this distance and well beaten in both races, so we've got a problem with the distance on this one, so we're going to leave that one for the time being. I think 25 is a little bit short, even though it could run well, because as you get older you can get more in terms of distance, but we'll leave that for the time being at 25. And if you look at the graph on the left, you can see quite an interesting graph. It started off at 10 and has gone out to 26, so obviously the exchange people, players, call them what you will, they have decided that it's not going to stay the 7 furlongs and push the price right out. That's fair enough. You know, I always like to back a horse that's going to do something that it's done before, and Beau Mistral hasn't run well over 7 furlongs, but there will come a time, hopefully in the race, before the race, that we can possibly trade it at a much bigger price in the hope that it will stay the 7 furlongs this time. So I'm going to leave that for the time being, and then I'm going to move on to East Coast Lady. Now East Coast Lady has run well in recent races, but we have to go back to November, December before we can look at any decent form. Last 3 races, not that spectacular. Beaten 6 3/4 lengths on January the 4th, beaten 13 lengths on the 1st of February, and last time out beaten 4 lengths over an extended 8 furlongs. So we have to go back to December, but I'm quite happy to do that if we get a decent price on the horse. And looking at the graph, you can see it's gone from 20, more or less 40, I think. So we more or less got a double in the price, and I'm expecting certainly that to go back to at least 40. And if it does do that, then it will become of interest, certainly to me. The one that we've already traded on is Lady Lydia, another one that has decent form in early January. Actually ran in a class 3 race. This is a class 5 over 8 furlongs at Kempton Park, and it was only beaten 2 3/4 lengths. And if we go further back to November, it ran at Lingfield over 7 furlongs, again in a class 3 event, beaten 3.5 lengths by Bargain Buy, and on that occasion it was rated 82, and it's now rated 74. So we've got a drop of £8 in the official rating, and we've also got a big drop in class into class 5. So it must have a chance based on its form in November and again in January. And you can see we've took the price at 37, laid it off at 34, but because of its recent form, beaten 15 lengths by Vina, 5th of 6, we could get a much bigger price as the race gets close to post time. So them are the 3 that we're going to keep an eye on. Now obviously we do have the favourite to beat. Simply Me is odds on and could easily run away with the race, but that's not what we're about. We're about trading the prices and trying to get some sort of profit before the race, with the chance as well of winning a little bit more money if any of these run anywhere near their previous form. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to trade the prices, and you can see what prices I've put them in at. So Beau Mistral 32 before we look at that one of any interest, might even go higher than that. 40 for East Coast Lady, and also 40 for Lady Lydia. And if it reaches these prices, we might just start trading. I might trade a little bit higher on Beau Mistral because of the distance factor. We've got 27 minutes left, so we've got about 22 minutes trading time to go. So we're looking at basically the same structure as we looked at in the previous video, and this is more of the fact that we're looking at horses with form that has tailed off after being quite good a couple of runs ago. So again, we're looking to ignore the last run, and if we do that, we're getting a decent price on these horses. Bow Minstrel has got recent form, but the distance factor is playing up with that one. So these are the two that's recent form is not that great, and that's where we're getting big prices for these horses. Market temporarily suspended, but I don't think there's a non-runner come out just yet. Anyway, we'll concentrate on these two and see where that gets us. And I'll put the form up for you so you can see exactly what I'm talking about with the form on these three horses. And we'll do that pretty shortly. So let's have a look at the form on offer for Lady Lydia. This is the one that we've traded. Now the two most important questions that you need to ask yourself as a trader are, number one, is the form good enough to win the race? And we'll have a look at that in a moment. And the second question is most definitely regarding price. Is the price on offer a tradable option? So the price is in the 30s. We've had a look at that. We have done a few trading. Now let's have a look at the form of the horse in question. Today's race, March the 6th, Wolverhampton, 7 furlongs, total rating of 144. That's what we're trying to look at in terms of previous runs. Now first of all, my eyes are drawn to the run at Kempton Park. That was over 8 furlongs. It's arguable that the horse is better over shorter distances, but 8 furlongs probably suits it as well. Recent form suggests that it can be competitive at that distance. So this race here on January the 18th at Kempton Park, the horse was rated 79. It's dropped 5 in the official ratings, and it's also dropped 12 in class. So we're down to a rating now of 144, which is 17 below this run at Kempton Park. And at Kempton Park it was beaten 2 3/4 lengths, not much distance at all. And if we go back to November the 30th, we've got a race here over 7 furlongs, which is today's trip, rated 82, and the average race rating of the race was 87. So a massive drop of 25 from that race, and it was only beaten 3.5 lengths. So you would suggest on those two runs that it's capable of running very, very close in this race at Wolverhampton. So what of the other races? First of all, let's deal with this one at Southwell. I've said before in other videos that form at Southwell can be disregarded because of the nature of the track. If you get in behind, you get the kickback, the horses don't want to know they can run. Very moderate races. So I'm going to ignore the race at Southwell. Now, the horse hasn't won for a while. It hasn't won since December 16th as a 4-year-old rated 71, and its form suggests that its current rating of 82 here, 80, 79 is just a little bit high for the horse to be actually winning races. We want to be dropping below 75. This is the race here where it came second, rated 75, in a race rated 70. So it's similar conditions to today. So we want to get the horse's form, or the horse's official rating, down from 82 to a more reasonable figure for the horse to be thinking about winning again. And that's the trainer's mindset that's coming in now. So we've got this race here at on November the 30th. It's beaten 3.5 lengths. Its rating is 82. As a trainer, I would be thinking, I need to get the horse's rating down so that it's got a better chance of winning. So here at Southwell is perfect opportunity. Let's get the horse's rating down at Southwell. It was beaten in that race, it dropped a pound. Then we run it at Kempton Park, but we run it up in class. So we want to get the horse beaten again, and it duly got beat 2 3/4 lengths, but it still ran a decent race here. Now the next time we're running at Wolverhampton, we've already suggested that at Kempton Park it's not capable of winning in that class 82. So why put it up again in class? This was a much better race again, rated 86. So to me, the trainer is trying to get the horse's weight down, and the horse finished 6th of 6, beaten 5.5 lengths. So because of that run there, the horse has dropped down to 76. Now this race here at Chelmsford is a poor run. There's no doubt about that. The horse was off the bridle early. It was well behind over 6 furlongs. You couldn't really blame the distance because it's run well here at 6 furlongs Wolverhampton. So you have to disregard this run at Chelmsford. The other thing to note is it was 11-4 favourite. So if you're going to be betting on your own horse, you don't want to be taking a price of 11-4. So this race here, one reason or another, it's run a bad race and it was one of the favourites, 11-4. Now it's come out in this race here at Wolverhampton, and we've already looked at the fact that it's dropped massively in class. It's very, very capable of winning this race, and it's on offer at 33-1 or slightly above that. So if I was a trainer, this is the race that I would be looking at to maybe back the horse, and that's the mindset that I'm looking at. That's possibly the mindset of the trainer as well. So Lady Lydia is the one that we've traded. We've got the fact that it's capable of winning the race. We've got a very big price for the horse on the day. It's definitely a tradable option. So let's have a look at the second horse in question, East Coast Lady. This is the one we're looking at trading if it was a decent enough price. So first of all, let's have a look at the form. The first question, is the form good enough to win the race? So this is the race in question, March the 6th. 66 rated, 70 is the official rating of the race based on the ratings of all horses in the race. So 7 furlongs, quite capable of running well over 7 furlongs. This is the race in question at Chelmsford. So if we compare that to today, horse beaten 1.5 lengths, rated 70, down 4 in the weights and also down 2 in class. So we could say that it's going to finish, or should finish, a little bit closer than 1.5 lengths. And the other thing to remember about East Coast Lady is it runs from the front, so it's almost certainly going to drop in price during the race. We've got these other runs here at Wolverhampton on January the 4th. That was a lesser race, but it had more weight, well beaten, and well beaten here at Kempton, again in a lesser race, and it was beaten again here at Wolverhampton. So these 3 races suggest that it can't win the race, but this race here at Chelmsford suggests that the horse is capable of running a very, very good race. So I'm going to ignore these 3 races here, and I'm going to take the form from the race here at Chelmsford, and also we can take the race from Chelmsford on December the 1st. That was over 8 furlongs, so possibly a better horse over 8 furlongs, but if you look at the race, £3 higher and also 1 in class, and it was only beaten 2 lengths, finished 3rd of 15. So it suggests to me that it's going to be competitive in this race. 26, I would like it to be more in the 30s, just for that extra split in the discrepancy between the back and the lay prices. So if East Coast Lady went into the 30s, maybe I would be quite happy trading it. But based on form, it answers the first question. It's capable of running a big race, or capable of winning this race. Now the third one we're going to look at from the form book is the favourite. And I'm going to put this up, and that is Simply Me. So we're going to scroll across trying to find Simply Me. This is the form in question, and you can see that Simply Me is a different type of animal. It's on the upgrade. It's definitely one that's been in tremendous form. It's won its last 3 races, and it also won a race and finished second twice as a 3-year-old. So it's a very consistent horse, and it's also in great form. Now let's have a look at the best run of its career. This is its best run, rated 74, which is a lot higher than its other races, and also this is the highest race it's been in, but it's not far different from the race at Lingfield. Now if we go to today's race at Wolverhampton, let's ask the first question. Is it capable of winning this race? Well, clearly, I think based on this form here at Lingfield, it is capable of winning. The only slight doubt is that it's going back to 7 furlongs. And if you look at the 7 furlongs race here at Lingfield, it's up £19 from that. But I'm quite happy that it's going to be running over a distance that suits it, even though its last 2 runs have come over 8 furlongs. Now the second question is the price good enough for me to trade? Well, clearly it isn't, because it's an odds-on shot. So there's no value in the price whatsoever. So I'm going to pass over Simply Me, even though I think it might run quite well in the race. So we've got 3 horses. We've got Lady Lydia, that's trading at 36. We've got East Coast Lady trading in the 20s, and Simply Me, who's the odds-on favourite. And it's clear from those 3 which 2 are possibly the trade options, and Lady Lydia is in the 30s, so that one is the one that we have traded. So I hope you found that useful. Simply Me obviously has a decent chance. East Coast Lady has to run up to its best. Lady Lydia we're looking at as a tactical form analysis based on the trainer's mindset. You can see the price on Lady Lydia just climbing again slightly to 36, and you notice we've not put any money in to the market just yet because we haven't got a great deal of money on the right hand side. So if it does decide to push further up, if once it gets past 42, we could see a big movement up towards even 50, 55, 60, and the price with the bookmakers was 28 to 1. So if it drifts out slightly to 33, we could see a massive change in the price as we get closer to the last 5 minutes. So that's what we're going to wait for. You can see a little bit of money coming in at 42 now, but I still think we're going to get a higher price than 36, 38. And we initially said 40, but if we just scroll down a little bit, it's pretty even on the left side and the right side. So there is a difference of opinion as to where the horse is going to go, but we're staying out of the market just in case we get that large push upwards on the lay side. So what we've just seen over the last couple of minutes, we've seen a push down, and I certainly saw a big chunk of money coming in at 34, £117. That was when the video was paused. So we had a lot of money coming in at 34, and now I'm quite confident to put the money in at 40 because I think there is a little bit of strength on this back side here on the right. So we're going to put the first bit in at 40, but we're still going to be quite careful to see, because we're not really sure which way the market wants to react to this particular form. So you've got a bit of money coming in at 30 now, 55. So we could see a push up towards 40. I don't think it's going to get any lower than 30.29. I wouldn't expect the horse, unless it's one of the springers in the market and a gamble takes place, I wouldn't expect it to come below 29.30. And if it does, I think it might just push up again pretty much straight afterwards. So we're going to leave that in at 40. We've got 10 minutes left. If it comes up and we do get a chunk of money, we might take that out and hope for a bigger price a couple of minutes later. You can see the price holding up on Beau Mistral and East Coast Lady, so it doesn't look like we're going to be able to trade on these two. We're going to have to concentrate on Lady Lydia. And that £2 we've got there is just a tentative prod. Once we get an idea of whether we think the market's going to go down or up, we can switch to the £5 stake. But that's just to put it in, just to remind us that that's the price that we're going to look at trading at 40. And we're still hovering between 30 and 32, getting down to 6.5 minutes. We do already have some trades in, so we can do a play in running if we need to. We don't have to play anymore on the market. We can still play on that potential profit, hope to win our stakes. And now the market is slowly but surely prodding its way up to our mark at 40. So we can switch to the 5 stake once we get established, but we're getting close to the 5-minute marker now. Okay, we're at post time now. We didn't get any more trades. You see the price on these two just drifting out slightly, but we were hoping for a few more trades on Lady Lydia, but it didn't materialise. We've got the profit, potential profit that we made earlier on, and now we're going to try and lay the horse in running at 5, and that will give us a profit of £4.75 on the race itself. So let's see what happens. They're just about going into the stalls. I can see on the monitor next to me they're just going in. There's about 2 or 3 left to load, so it shouldn't be too far. We're going to right click that, put it in play keep, and then we'll see how it runs during the race. So it's drawn 6. I don't think it's going to get to the inside. It will be lucky to get to the inside, but it shouldn't be racing too deep. There's only 8 runners in the race. Sucker. They are now off. So we're going to the first bend. It's tucked in behind, racing about 3rd, and it is running too deep on the track, but it's racing quite prominently up 3rd place, something like that. Being shuffled back in the field, actually. So about 40-42. No move from the jockey yet. Swinging down towards the halfway stage. Lady Lydia still at the back, towards the back now. About 21-19, 6.2 it came down to. Is it going to get any nearer to hour 5?
Fully matched.
And it did get taken there. So we're coming on the outside now. It's coming through. And Lady Lydia has actually won the race. So we've got the profit 7.26. Lady Lydia was the winner. Not sure what was second. Possibly number 6 was second. So there you have it. I'll put the results up when we have it. Let's just have a look at the replay. Just looking at the monitor. We've certainly got Lady Lydia as the winner, and we've got the profit on the race of 7.26. I think we were a little bit unlucky that we didn't do any more trades on it, and we certainly could have won a little bit more than 7.26. But anyway, we've won on the race. Lady Lydia has won the race. It did have the form, and like I said, this is the whole point of trading. This is when you're looking at the form, not the recent form, looking at form before that. That gives you the big price. And it was a class dropper. The favourite had a good chance, but didn't run up to its usual standard, and Lady Lydia came through quite smartly to win in the end. So here's the result of the race. First was Lady Lydia at 20-1 with the bookmakers. Second was East Coast Lady at 16-1, and the favourite Simply Me was back in third. Now Lady Lydia was quite well away, took to the back of the field and come with a good sweeping run down the outside. So that just shows you the value of the form that you need to look at before the race. Simply Me was a decent favourite, but these two had the form to win the race. Beau Mistral, we were problematic with the distance, and in the end that certainly paid in the final furlong or so. So hope you've enjoyed the video. I am going to, in the next video, show you a little bit more in running trading, so hopefully you'll come back for that one. Look out for our information on the rest of the slides. Thanks for watching. So from April the 24th we are offering an extra service to the online series. Please be advised that tutorial videos will remain free to view. Here are just some of the benefits of the new support packages. So we've got bronze, silver and gold packages designed with you in mind. Database forms sent direct to your inbox before racing starts. In-depth race analysis to help you with trading and finding those lucrative outsiders. We can also give personal feedback on your trades through your channel. Just upload your videos and we'll give you a comprehensive feedback of what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong. Staking and starting banks advice to suit your skills and experience. And we can also give advice on fast track strategies to boost income. Now you need to act quickly. Places are limited to the first 20 enquiries. To register your interest, just leave a comment under the video and we'll put that in a shortlist. If you want to check availability and to find out more about the service, go directly to our YouTube channel and click on the extra services playlist. But these videos should be on the channel before the end of March. More information will be available over the next few videos.